Hey, this is me demoing my project that I did, OS project 2. So in the native calls, I added some more includes so that I could do the system calls. I copied over this method that I wrote in, in the tar GZ. I originally wrote this function on Reptilian, then I SCP'd it back over. So then, copied the text. I think I might change like a minor thing, but because it has to go anyway, whatever. So I copied this stuff down here again because this is the other native call. This one was the built-in native call. I did not change it. I don't think I changed it at all. If I did, I'm not really using it anyway, so it doesn't matter. Down here, though, this native call is the one that I am using for this. So I added a parameter JString file name because it's a Java string that it needs to take in as a native function. It converts that JString into a C string, car pointer, char pointer, whatever, and then it uses that read file function on that native file name that it is converted to C++, C, whatever. And so this function right here actually does the POSIX calls to read the data from the file, and it stores it in this contents. Then I create a Java string from those contents with new string UTF inside the environment. So this native function returns back to this P2 activity file. So on load click, this is the button. If we go over here to context, button, on click, it says on load click. That's the function that's called. So when that is pressed, it passes the view as a parameter. I don't know if I have to do that, but it was giving me a warning over here when I wasn't. So I included it. Protected void on load click, it finds the two IDs of these components just so that I can modify them. Takes whatever is in the file name box, gets it from the contents basically. So get text, I think it's like an editable or something, so I have to do toString on that. And then I have a try catch block. I'm not sure if I need to have a try catch block because I'm not sure if this will actually throw an exception. I think it'll just return like -1 or something because that's what I did. Well, this will return -1, or no, it'll return couldn't find file. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I'm pretty sure what it does is returns couldn't find file. I'll demo that. Contents set text. There's a breakpoint there. I don't need it. Yeah, so it basically does this. The lookup here, this string from file is the native call over here. So string from file like that. And it's declared down here as a native with string file name. So that's the one that's getting called. Try catch, and then that toSet, it's going to just set the contents of the text box to toSet. I think that's pretty much it for this one. Well, okay, I'll detail this function a little better. So char pointer to return, although actually, do I use that? I don't think I need that. Oh, I guess I do. If I do that. Anyway, whatever. It's fine. It works. So anyway, yeah, there's a char pointer to return, but I only return that one if there is an error, I guess, and otherwise I allocate a buffer down here and do malloc, which means that I do have to free it later on. I do +1 because there's a null character that terminates strings in Java and for these C strings. So this is pretty simple. It's just a while loop. The code that's being executed, it's an empty while loop because the code being executed is actually like right here. Like this read fills the buffer. That's what the POSIX call does. So read function, I think it does return. It returns the number of bytes read, but I don't really need that information anyway. Like I don't need to store it. All I need to do is compare it and make sure it's greater than 0. So we'll run it until that buffer is no longer being added to, and then we'll stop running this. It should only run once because the buffer size is the same as the size that we're reading in, because this is what I did. These two lines right here find the size of the file, right? So off t is just a weird data type that POSIX standard has, but it's really just an integer that will reflect, it's an integer container, reflects the size of the file. So I do lseek to the end of the file, and I store that as the size of the file because that's the offset. It's finding the, starting from the beginning of the file, offset of 0 It's going to seek to the end of the file, file read, which I declared up here in this line. And it's going to, so seeks to the end, stores that as size, and then I have to seek it back to the beginning so that the cursor is in the right place for when I do read down here. That should be very clear. I think I fully detailed that. I do close this file at the end, and then I return the char pointer as a buffer. So then you'll see that as the return of this method. Down here, this char pointer just gets stored as native contents, and I convert that char pointer to a new string with new string UTF. It becomes a J string. Should be good on that. I think I've explained everything. This I did not tweak at all. This is the same freaking thing. This I can actually delete because I'm not using it anymore. I tried to put files in the Android Studio environment, but that's not where you put them, as I figured out. It's actually SSH in. So these are the files I'm going to be demonstrating with. Those I can do nano dum.txt. That's what's in it. Dummy, line 1, line 2, last line, p0.diff. This was actually from Project 0. Oh, wait. I guess it got deleted, didn't it? Oh, well. Anyway, we can go in here. So, load the dummy file. I mean, should I redo it? Let's just reboot that thing in case you care. Let's restart the app. While we're doing that, I'll break out this. Readfile.h. Pretty simple. I haven't done Notepad, but what? Notepad. Man, you can't read it like this. So let's just do this. All right, there we go. This is pretty much the same read file function. I actually took out a couple lines in this version of it because there were warnings that I wasn't using variables. Same thing though. This down here is the one that uses that read file and just checks the number of arguments, make sure it's correct. It takes the argument representing like the name of the file name, fn or file name, reads the file using the function from before, which I include right here, and builds a string and returns it basically. And it also does make sure to free the mallocked character pointer that gets mallocked in this function. That's everything. I mean, that's it right there. So over here, we've got this working now. I pasted this path. It's like mount ubuntu home reptilian dummy.txt. So it reads that. Dumb.txt. I guess it is. Why is it jni.h? I think I messed set a breakpoint somewhere that I didn't really want. Okay. What?